and mass hysteria, higgledy-piggledy.
Dogs and cats living together.
Welcome, everybody. It's Monday night. Welcome to MCU Mondays, right here on Feast of Fandoms. We're glad you joined us. I am your host, David. With me, as always, are my co-hosts, Debbie. Debbie, how are you this evening?
I'm cold and I'm tired.
I hear that. I'm cold and tired, too.
It's like 8 degrees, but it feels like 0 with the wind.
Oh,
Yikes.
no.
I guess I'm hot.
I was going to say, I must be hot, too. I think it was like it was cold today. It was like 47 degrees today.
Mm-hmm.
So...
Well, I think later this week it's supposed to be in the minus.
Keep it up there. Keep it up there.
I'm like, I'm glad it's a 4-day work week.
Although
and a 4-day work week next week.
I've got I'm going north on Friday. I've got I'm a 4.5 day work week this week and a 4-day work week next week. But I'm driving up to Arkansas on Friday, which means I'm driving north, which means it's probably going to be cold up there.
Job related for
No,
Arkansas?
Work.
Oh.
Pleasure. Strictly pleasure.
Okay.
My folks live up there, so.
Sounds like a lot of driving.
It's about 5.5 hours.
That's not too bad.
No.
I could never.
Texas, that's nothing. I mean, you drive any direction, it's 5 hours.
That's like driving from here to Houston, so it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Also with us tonight is Andrew. Andrew, how are you this evening?
I'm doing good. Not a whole lot.
Very, very cool. If you missed last night, all three of us were on Cam and Focus's channel talking about the Mummy. We had a lot of fun doing that. Thank you for having us on, Cam. Well, we'll get to what we're talking about next week. We got the shameless plugs coming up at the end of the show. So, news. Did we have any news this week? I don't think so.
Yeah, I sent it in the chat. The Daredevil trailer was supposed to drop this week, but they, for some bizarre reason, delayed it because of the LA fires. And I'm like, what does a trailer have to do with the LA fires? It's not like it was a premiere, where people would be going to a premiere. It was just a trailer. So I was like,
doesn't make any sense.
I don't understand.
Speaking of those LA fires, I'm just waiting for some of those celebrities to start getting on TV and saying, please send money and help us rebuild. And I'm gonna.
There's been a couple on Tickety Talk.
It's you have like 5 houses. What you talking about?
I've got a couple of fingers that I would like to show them and tell them to spend their own stupid money to fix their own dumb houses. So your one closet in your house is worth more than my house, and you're asking me to help you rebuild?
He's gonna pull a Guardians. He's just gonna go.
I'm sorry.
Really gonna do it.
I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah.
I didn't know how this worked.
I didn't know what this did.
Just watched that yesterday.
Such a good movie. Such a good movie. But we're not talking about Guardians tonight. Unfortunately, we need to go back and revisit Guardians. We need to just have a Guardian night one night. But we've got a lot coming up because we got to finish Daredevil before the new Daredevil starts. We got the new Captain America movie coming out next month. Actually, we're right at a month away, right? It's on the 15th, 14th. Yeah, it's Valentine's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah,
and then the new Daredevil starts March.
Yeah.
So we got to get through this series before that one starts.
Hey.
Yes. So, anyway, let's talk about this. God, this was such a great episode, by the way. So good. And it was one of those ones where it didn't have Daredevil in it. Like, it almost didn't even have Matt in it. Oh, somebody's in love with your hair.
Thank you. Looks like shit, but thank you.
I thought it actually looked pretty good.
I'm reverting back to my 80s.
I was going to say, it's
Looks fine. It's
a change from the norm.
It's lifted and sort of. I don't know.
I'm gonna hit you up later.
I just get up and just whatever. Wherever it lays, that's where it goes. And I spray it and there you go. But thank you. I appreciate it.
So anyway, let me think. This episode, we got a lot to do with Poindexter. I'm glad he's going to be in the next season. I love the way they told his story.
Villain origin story.
In case you missed it, Poindexter is Bullseye. There were so many clues in this episode. If you hadn't figured it out yet, there were so many clues in this episode that it just... The one being the baseball hat that he was wearing. I don't know did you catch the baseball hat?
Did it have a bullseye on it?
It had a bullseye on it. It was right there in the center, and he's wearing it on it just like in the comic books. It was great. But I loved the way they told this story. I loved the way that it was. You kind of had what do you call it? You had Fisk, and he's just kind of standing in the background. He's just watching this unfold as he's reading the files, but he's kind of playing it out in his mind.
Files and listening to the tapes, and he's really getting into this Index's psychosis or psychology and really what makes him tick.
at the end, when it got to the end, I had Vincent D'Onofrio's voice in my head, and it was saying, when he gets to the end of all of this, of everything, and finds out exactly who he is and what he is, I just see him. I just heard in my head, and I know it was not a line, but I just heard him because of the way that he was looking at him, the way his facial features were. D'Onofrio said nothing, but he said a million things just through his face. He's brilliant in this episode. But I just saw him saying, "Ah, yes. Now I see what makes you the man that you are. I wonder how I might use that to my advantage."
Exactly.
And it was just like,
he's got a list going on in his head, like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to,
I need to remember these facts and figures, especially the doctor and
David, if you shaved your head bald and your goatee, you could be him for Halloween.
You know what? It's funny, when I was in the Army, when I did have my head shaved, there were many people that called me Private Pile, and that was because of Full Metal Jacket, which Vincent D'Onofrio was Private Pile in Full Metal Jacket.
Because I'm going even further back. I'm thinking Gomer Pyle.
Jim
Gomer Pyle.
No,
actually, with the goatee, you kind of look like him in Jurassic World.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
Get a little gray in that hair. Yeah.
Let's have the kids stress you out a little more, get some more grays. Then, there you go.
You could have all mine. I've got plenty.
I don't. You know what? I've got.
Debbie's like, I'll trade some grays for youth. Fair.
I've got a little stripe going on right here, and I'm happy with that stripe because I've got friends of mine that are my age that I'll hang around with, and their beards are like full on white or silver or gray or salt and pepper, and I'm like, none of that. And I'm like, ha, I'm older than you are, and you're already gray. Neener. So
you can't see it on. I don't know why it doesn't show up on camera, but I do have a gray.
You got like a rogue thing going on.
I do. It's a gray streak, and I do have a shit ton of gray, but it's really peppered throughout my hair, so you can't really see it unless you're up close.
They're kind of in the back.
Shut up.
Block them. So
you know what that is, Andrew? That's your dog shedding on you. That's not great.
Oh, that
white dog hair.
Because he is okay. He has white hair. That makes sense. I thought you were gonna say like dandruff or something, but yeah, the dog hair.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's dandruff. Anyway,
it was snowing earlier. Okay, come
on. But yeah, we really get a good look at Poindexter in this one. Before any of that happens, Fisk they're pulling the cab out of. There's no body. There's no corpse. If you remember, Matt was left in a cab that ran off the dock at the end of the last episode. No body, no corpse, and he's watching video of him. Does this look like a blind man fighting to you? And he's dead set that Matt's not blind. And
well, his lawyer even said, we've checked his childhood records and everything states that he's blind.
Yeah.
So
just look like a blind man fighting to you.
I don't think Wilson knows what to think of that. He's perplexed, confused, and perplexed.
It's again, D'Onofrio is killing it in this season, just as Fisk, and the cool calculating. I love him in this one. It's great. This is a man crush right here. I've got a man crush on Vincent. Everything he does is just amazing.
The bromance.
So, it's a bromance. If I would love to just sit down and we're gonna go out and have coffee and then maybe go grab a bite to eat somewhere and just sit and chit chat. It'd be great. It'd be awesome. But anyway, I digress. Vincent D'Onofrio is amazing. But then he gets into Poindexter. And it starts off with him as a kid, and he's throwing the baseball at the wall, hits the same spot every time. And you've got the coach. The coach loves him to death. And he got in trouble for something. He wasn't able to play or something. He said, "No, don't worry about it. But if he ever does this to you again, just let me know, and I'll get you out of it. Not a big deal." And so he had this. I don't want to say it wasn't. He had this love for the coach. The coach let him do what he wanted to do because he was, he threw the baseball, and he threw the baseball well, and it wasn't a bad thing. And then he got mad at the coach, which was great because the coach pulled him. The coach did exactly what any coach would do. It's like,
yeah,
takes him out.
Yeah, let
He's
other
like,
kids
you
play.
stink. Get him out.
No, it wasn't that he stinks.
Well, he just doesn't play well with others.
Well, not even that. It was
it was just that it was towards the end of the game. He had a no hitter going, but you got to let other kids play.
We got to let the other kids play. I'm sorry, I got to do this. And
rest your arm.
Yeah. And he does the thing with the baseball again, where he throws the baseball, and of course it bing bong, and it does the cool little whacks him in the head. You kill him. I mean, just flat out kills him. Jeez.
Now, I don't know if I missed something because I was on the phone with my daughter texting, but did it say what happened to his mom and dad? Did they die or did he kill them?
I don't think it ever mentioned anything.
I don't recall.
Because he's an orphan.
Right. He's living in a boys' home. So I don't.
Or maybe his mom just gave him up or something. I didn't know if I had missed something.
He got an axe and just started whacking, like.
No,
Lizzie Borden.
That was Lizzie Borden, yeah.
Yeah.
But no, it was. I don't think it ever said.
Yeah.
I just know he had this special relationship with the coach, and then when the coach let him down, he took him out.
He took the coach down.
He has attachment issues.
Well, and that's what the whole thing. He was talking with the doctor. When he's in the therapy sessions as the kid, and she's writing down borderline personality disorder and psychotic tendencies. I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's really, what it boils down to is that they can be someone with borderline personality is always on the lookout for themselves. That's always something that they are, that they're going to lie and cheat and steal and do anything that they can. But if you're their friend, they can be your best friend in the whole wide world. But the minute that you turn on them and the minute you turn around and do something that they don't like, they're going to snap on you and go crazy on you.
And kids, this is why Jedi don't allow attachments.
Yes.
Just an FYI.
Well, I
Because
thought it was
Anakin was
interesting.
kind of like that if you think about it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
He
So-
went even further though. He killed all the younglings and didn't stop there. Actually, he started with killing all of the
Tusken
sand
Raiders.
people, the Tusken
Yeah.
Raiders. Yeah, that's where it started.
But that's another show.
Yeah,
That's Thursday. We'll get
a
there.
week from Thursday.
But oh, go ahead.
Yeah, he's got, I mean, you know, first it was his coach, then it was the therapist, and then it was this girl Julie that he briefly worked with at the suicide hotline. And yeah, it was just, boy,
And
he
he
liked
really-
something.
He really
he
bombed
gets-
it with her too, didn't he? I mean, that
Man,
was
all you had to do was keep your mouth shut. That's all you had to do.
yeah.
Well, you don't
He-
have a dog. Oh, dude.
He had her just, I mean, she was
They were
into
getting
him.
along very well, and then
Yeah.
you know he
And then
says something about ballerina, and she goes, "I didn't."
Well,
say
no.
that."
It started with the you worked at the suicide line. He said something about you worked there for like 3 years, and she said, "How did you know that?" She said, "I
He
didn't."
only worked there one.
You only worked there for 1, so how did you know 3? And that's what it was. It just kept compounding, and he kept letting stuff slip to where it was like, oh, well, you said you wanted to be a ballerina. I didn't say anything about ballerina. I wanted to be a dancer. That was what
Yeah.
her thing was. And
Yeah, she probably could have let the first one slide, but then when he just kept going and going, it was just like,
that's the
dude,
thing is
fucked it up.
when you I mean, and the one at the suicide line was kind of small to where it said, you know, you only worked there 3 years. Well, and she was like, how did you only work there for 1 year? All he had to do was say, oh, you must have mentioned it, and then let it go.
Mhm.
And then let it go. That's all you got to do. You don't have to say anything about, you said you wanted to be a ballerina. Because see right there, you dropped the ball again. Because at that point, she's like, no, I know I didn't say. It's the 3 years she probably could have said, I might have said that, and I just don't remember. That's a small fact that. But now the ballerina thing. Now I know. It's
Huh? Which Jeff the shark dog?
I have no idea.
You don't know Jeff the Shark Dog?
I guess not.
I don't know either.
And no cat dog. You know that cartoon that was on Nickelodeon, cat or cat dog,
Cat dog.
whatever. Very weird, but I know
But
that.
anyway, but yeah, it was just, and it kept stacking and stacking and stacking. And then you don't have a dog, and it's like, dude, just shut up, shut up.
And then he grabbed her by the arm, and I'm like, oh man, not good, not good.
So and again, this is the girl he's been stalking for.
Yeah, the broccoli pizza.
Yeah, for a
The one he
long-
told the job therapist that was his support system.
Yep. Sure
Make
did.
believe support system.
Sure did. But and again, all of this, you know, when he's talking to his therapist, right? And when she's like, I guess she was dying, but she's
Yeah, I
still
think she
seeing,
had cancer or something.
but she's dying. She's hooked up to a breathing machine, but she's still seeing patients, which I thought was hilarious.
Well, it was her last day.
I don't care. if you're to the point of you need a breathing machine, you need to. The first day they say, okay, you need a breathing machine. All right, I'm done. I'm not seeing any more.
That'll
patients.
probably be me in a few years. You know, I'll be hooked up to a breathing machine and still doing these YouTube shows.
Well, that's
Here.
different.
Well,
Yeah, that's
it's like Darth Vader. I liked this episode.
no. For that, she'll be more like Christopher Reeve, and I'm gonna make fun, and people are gonna
Oh
hate me for it.
gosh.
But it'll be, I really like this episode, and It did such a good job of telling all the things with the.
You know, I just watched that documentary
Oh,
early.
it's so good.
Super
I
Actually,
cried
at
the
the beginning of the
majority of
year.
the time.
Yeah, I loved it a lot. It was good.
It was great.
I haven't watched it yet. I'm in the middle of binging Friends right now, so
Nice.
I'm not.
I love Friends.
I'm not going to interrupt. I'm not going to interrupt you with another movie.
Speaking of David Schwimmer, I've been checking out that new Goosebumps, the new season of that Goosebumps anthology series.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. The first season was really good too.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. But I just think of Friends when I
Where
see
is
him.
that at?
A Disney Plus.
Hulu
Oh, okay.
or
Both.
Disney Plus.
It's
Yeah.
both. It's a Disney Plus
Mhm.
and Hulu shared thing. So,
Okay.
but yeah, it's an
Oh.
anthology, so it's not an episodic show, but it's really good. Or episodic seasons, I should say, because
I will check it out. In case you didn't notice, I'm working on my Moss Eisley Cantina, which is a mega
Nice.
super umpteen gazillion pieces, but they're all mixed up. They're not bagged out, so I'm doing it old school. So I obviously need something to keep me busy.
Did it come with instructions?
The instructions are online, so I'm having to flip through them on my phone,
Oh gosh.
which is
You don't have like a laptop or something?
I can't afford. I've got Legos. I can't afford no laptop. Are you kidding me?
I'm really good at putting Legos together because they always say like 18 years, and I do it in like 30
Yeah, I can get it done in a
minutes.
couple hours.
Yeah.
No big deal.
So this whole takes 18 years. I don't know who's putting the Legos together, but geez,
I got a good deal on it though, so I'm excited. So
nice.
spent my Christmas money. So anyway, but yeah, we get into, and then you get the, and this got me too. The FBI is still attempting to track down. Well, they're attempting to track down Matt. Basically, Fisk offered Matt up as a scapegoat.
Yeah, he's worked for him.
Yeah, he's worked for me. You might check him out, sacrificial lamb kind of thing. And that's just because Fisk is using at this point every means and way possible to get rid of Matt. And now he's to the point of, well, I'll just let the FBI do it for me, and I'll throw him under I've thrown the Romanians under or the Armenians or whoever, the Eastern European gangs under the bus.
Albanians.
I knew it was an Anians. But I've thrown the Albanians under the bus, and they trust me. The FBI trusts me now. They know that I'm going to be making, good, giving them good information and good intel on these things. So when I say Matt Murdock, now it's going to be like, oh, okay, we're going to focus on him. And they're looking for him, and of course they go talk to Karen first, which. The FBI, those people following her
can be more obvious.
A blind. I'm trying to think how I want to say this.
See
that
this.
Could have seen him coming.
Yeah. Unless you were dead, you could have seen these guys coming. It's like, geez, guys, come on! You're supposed to be like
the best of the best.
The subtle but she's looking around, and it's like, it's like blatantly obvious.
Mm-hmm.
What's going on, Scarif? It's like that they're just looking at her, just giving her these death stares, and just walking with her and following her. I'm like, dude, seriously? Come on.
She's getting ready to pull her gun out.
No, she wasn't. See, she did exactly what you were supposed to do. Because when you get pulled over by a cop, if you have that concealed carry, you're supposed to tell them, look, I've got a concealed carry permit. My weapon is wherever it is on my body. Mm-hmm. And they know then to say, okay, this person is armed. They have a gun, but they're being responsible about it. So
yeah, but before they stopped her, she had her hand on it. Her hand was in her purse.
Well, because she had been meeting with this. What was he? He's not a. What is he? He's a. What did they call him?
The fixer?
Was it a fixer? Was that what
Manning?
they called him? Yeah. So yeah. I'm sure she was
Yeah, because he scared her. She was being
Yeah,
all
he did.
cocky as usual,
Of course.
thinking she knows it all. And then,
then
he's like, he starts naming her parents and how she slept in the back bedroom, and they
And
should have let the son do that. And
the address of where her parents are currently living and all this other stuff. And I mean, yeah, that's gonna freak her out a little bit. So
the blood was draining from her face.
She didn't necessarily know exactly who. She knew somebody was following her. She didn't know exactly who, though. Is it going to be this fixer guys, or is it going to be the FBI? Who is it? And then the big black car rolls up, and it's like, okay, you're the FBI. So anyway, which if it had been the fixer, they wouldn't have followed her. They just would have. She would have been dead when she cleared the door.
Mm-hmm.
So there would have been no need to follow and scare her, but whatever. And but then they talk to her, oh, Matt, where's Matt at? And all this other stuff. They breach Matt's apartment, which was hilarious. He's not there. Why are you paying his bills? I mean, they're really kind of giving her a third. It is a third degree. They're sweating her about where Matt is, and which I don't get, because backing up a little bit. They said, so you guys worked for. She kind of dug herself in this hole of, you guys worked for Fisk. It's like, no, we didn't work for Fisk. Well, but you did a case for him. Well, okay, fine. We unknowingly worked for, we did a case for one of his subsidiary companies or whatever that we didn't know was him, but that doesn't mean we represented him. But when they do the same thing to Foggy, like, so you guys represented Fisk? No. And Foggy threw it back at him. Foggy was like all kinds of cool and collected. If you're going to say that we worked for him when we took a case that was for one of his subsidiaries and we didn't know that it was him, we had a lot of cases. We had a lot of clients. So one that's going to fly under the radar is one of Fisk's under companies or whatever. Yeah, we might have missed that, but yes, we did do that. But we didn't know that was Fisk at the time. So,
and then Karen really got freaked out when Nadeem, the FBI guy, put that picture of Wesley in front of her.
Yeah, and that came into play at the end too.
Mm-hmm.
And Foggy's like, just give me $5. Okay, I'm your attorney now. Well, they're gonna dig up Wesley and think that Matt did it, but no, they're gonna find out it was me, which we all know that is true. And then roll credits, and it's like, oh, you guys suck. Hate you.
Foggy's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. What did I get into?
Shit. Oh Lord.
But yeah, they're sweating Foggy, they're sweating Karen, and they're hunting Matt basically. And then we find out at the end how Matt got out. I mean, because Matt was in the apartment like literally seconds before they breached his door. And obviously, they do the whole looking at clues thing, and his clothes are still wet. He's been here recently. So, which,
he's just sitting on the roof listening.
Yep. Which, again, we had the Daredevil show without Daredevil in it. Barely Matt in it either.
Yeah. But in order to get this origin story.
Oh yeah.
And Wilson's thoughts behind, or how he's gonna manipulate Dexter or Dex.
He's not manipulating him. He's going to use him to his advantage. You can't say manipulate. That sounds bad.
But he is. He may not admit it, but he is.
He may not have said that word, but that's what he's going to do.
All to get Vanessa back.
Well, and Vanessa at this point's been cleared, right? Because they even said something about that. They said, when they were
Well,
talking
yeah,
to
but
him,
he wants other accommodations.
he wants to be able to visit her. That's the
Probably, or
thing.
have her
Or have
visit,
her visit. Yeah,
or have her live there.
sure, why not?
Um,
But as far as right now, she can come back to the States and be okay at this point because she has. But would Fisk risk bringing her back to the States when Matt has threatened her, for lack of a better term? Because Matt said,
well, yeah, I think because doesn't Dex become
Bullseye.
but he's wearing Daredevil's outfit.
Yeah, but if you look at the comic books, though, Daredevil and Bullseye look like they dress like exactly the same, just about. Their costumes are pretty much the exact same.
Because see, I'm going by, and as much as I like the Ben Affleck, Daredevil, and I love Colin Farrell, or not Colin, Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I hated his Bullseye character. I really did.
I
Talking about my Bullseye character. Better watch out. Penguin's gonna get you.
Well, it wasn't that he did it bad. It was written poorly.
Yeah.
And especially that scene where he says, "I want a costume," and then it shows him in the next scene. It's like he's dressed exactly like he's been dressed. Did they not give him a costume?
Evidently not.
What's going on? oh, I've got a patent leather jacket on instead of a regular leather jacket. It's like,
This one's got lining in it. Fur lining.
Whatever.
Yeah,
Lame.
I didn't care for that character in that particular movie. I just didn't like it.
Yeah, mine are too. It's Andrew.
Huh?
Andrew, pay attention to the show.
Quit sending us crap in the messages.
You'll thank me later for a laugh.
All right. So anyway, Debbie's already laughing. Go ahead and thank him now.
I got more stuff.
Oh Lord.
But yeah, I didn't. I mean, I guess I thought Colin Farrell's Bullseye was. I didn't like how he had the bullseye indentation in his forehead. I mean, yeah, because Bullseye, like I said, Bullseye's costume is basically Daredevil's costume, except it's got a bullseye on the top of it. If you read the comic, I mean, older sections of the comic book, so it's basically the same. But I didn't, which was good because that was, the kid had the baseball cap on, and that's where that bullseye was on that baseball cap. It wasn't a bullseye, it was a target. He had the target. So I was like, oh yeah, that's clever nod there, like that. So I thought when he threatened the therapist too, which was just like, holy crap. He's like, I want to kill you too.
I want to kill you because you're dying.
No. Well, she said, do you want to kill me to put me out of my misery, to end my pain? No, because
you're leaving me.
Yeah, because you're leaving me and I want to see you die. I want to see you suffer for. I'm like, jeez.
Okay, so make her leave earlier then. I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
God. But see, you know what? That's why I like this, because and I probably get some flack for this. The 2012 version of Halloween, the one that Rob Zombie did, the one that the reboot that Rob Zombie did. I loved that movie, and I didn't like it more than I liked John Carpenter's, but the fact that it was John Carpenter started off and it just showed Michael as a kid and he's sitting out on the porch and he's got the bloody knife, and then it rolls right into the whole Jamie Lee Curtis in The Shape and everything. But Rob Zombie, when he did his, the whole first half of the movie was Michael Myers growing up, and it was him and how he came from this this broken home, this abusive relationship, and everything else. And then when he killed his sister, and he killed the sister's boyfriend and the mom's boyfriend or the stepdad, whatever, and he was just out there and he's covered in blood. And then he goes through and he's talking with I can't even think of his name now. The doctor, Donald Pleasant's character in the movie, in the original movie. But he's talking with him, and he's just going through all the psychosis of it. You really got the sense that this kid was not just a killing machine. He was truly, truly, truly like psychotic. I mean, just he would rip your face off without even thinking twice about it, and he doesn't care. And that's what I'm getting from Poindexter growing up right here. That's what I liked seeing, because that's what makes it scary, because that is legit. That really there are people that are like that.
Mm-hmm.
That are, locked up for reasons just like that. That is not this is fictional and everything. That is a true, honest to God, mental. Something is wrong. The neurons in their brain are firing wrong, and they are a legitimately disturbed person. And that's what I got from Poindexter 2, which makes it makes it. That's what I liked about the first Joker movie. I haven't seen Joker 2. I really don't want to. But again, the first Joker movie, you just saw that slip. He just slips into that insanity mode, and it was just like, oh, geez.
They did it perfectly.
Yeah, exactly.
Movie.
And that's what makes it. That's what makes a good psychological thriller. Because not only is it scary, but it's scary because that's real life. That's not
even about Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean, he's got the psychological aspect of it that he does so well.
And that's not just somebody that, we shot him 3 times and he stood back up and started chasing us with the knife again, and then we blew him up and lightning struck him and he came back to life. No. Not just that, but just the whole, this is a real person and he is doing real things that are really scary. So, and he seems unstoppable, but I digress. But again, that, and of course, Vincent D'Onofrio, one of the reasons that I loved this episode. I thought it was an amazing, amazing episode. So, you didn't need Daredevil in this episode of Daredevil. I could have watched the whole hour with just him sorting through his files, getting backstory on Dex. So, Andrew, are they paying you to drink out of that cup?
Yep. I'm going to be the new head coach. So, Mike McCarthy's out. I got some connections.
So. But anyway, did we miss anything, Debbie?
I don't think so. I think
I'm anxious to continue on. We're going to have a couple of episodes in the near future where we're going to be doubling up some of these episodes. I need to sit down and figure out which ones we're going to do. But just because we want to get done with Daredevil before Born Again or Reborn starts. But it's Born Again, right?
Born Again.
Born Again.
Yeah, it's Deadpool Born Again. It's Darepool Born Again.
Darepool.
Darepool. Yeah, Darepool Born Again.
Or Dead Devil. Devil.
Dead Devil Reborn. There you go. That's the new.
I got Luke. There's actually a comic book that came out I want to say based on the art style, probably the late 80s, early 90s. It was Daredevil Reborn or Daredevil Born Again or whatever, and it was just like, oh hey, and I caught it at a bookstore and I was like, hey, I wonder if this has anything to do with. So now I need to go read that book so when the new show starts, I'll be like, oh hey, they took that from this, or they just used the title.
Well, it happens.
Well, and I mean, why not? I mean, and honestly, the title makes sense because when did this was what 2015 was the last
18.
episode. 2018 was the last episode of the Netflix Daredevil, and so here we are. What 7 years? 7 years later, we're finally getting a new episode or a new season. So yeah, sure, Born Again makes perfect sense. It's been gone for so long, so. And they honestly thought this was going to be the last season anyway. So, anyway, very cool. I'm anxious to see it. I'm anxious to finish this, and especially since they've got all the main cast returning. We know that Daredevil,
Punisher's back.
Punisher's back.
I hope he gets
Poindexter's back.
Poindexter's
season.
back. Fisk has already made his appearance all over the MCU. In Echo and somewhere else, wasn't he?
Hawkeye.
Was he in
He was
Hawkeye?
in Hawkeye.
Oh yeah, sure was. Yeah. So and then
Daredevil was an Echo for about 2 seconds,
and he was also in Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Spider-Man No Way Home.
he was in She-Hulk.
And we don't
Had some fun in She-Hulk. You know,
we don't talk about She-Hulk.
Oh man, yep. I liked him more in Echo than I did in She-Hulk, except for the fights.
Although in She-Hulk he had a walk of shame. But Chris said it with guys it's different. It's not a walk of shame. What did he call it? A stride of pride.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, it's different. You know, girls have the walk of shame. Guys have the stride of pride. So, and if you don't know what a walk of shame is, just
you're obviously a guy.
Kids, if you don't know what the walk of shame is, ask mom and dad.
Hey mom, what's the walk of shame?
They might tell you, they might not.
Maybe wait a few years before you ask, depending on your age.
Yeah, it might wait till you're like 16, 17, somewhere in that neighborhood. So. All right. Well, then, shameless plugs. What do we got?
Whoa, tonight? I should not have Googled the meaning. Oops.
Lots of good pictures there, aren't there?
Quick, I need to clear my history out.
I'm sorry, Mom. I'm sorry. No, okay. Shameless plugs. What do we got tonight, Debbie? Unless you had anything else.
No.
You guys got anything else? All right, cool.
I'm good. Tomorrow night over on the Sith Dominion, he put up I thought he put up the season finale, but I'm like, but it's on while you're. So I'll have to look at the description again. I'll have to look at the description again, but I'm pretty sure they need to talk about last week's episode because we didn't talk about that in regards to Skeleton Crew. And I believe over on their Discord, they're doing a Rebels watch party, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think they're doing 2 episodes each time.
Yeah. Wednesday, War of the Stars is dropping an episode. I believe it's on Leia.
Mm-hmm.
Did I see that right? Okay.
Yes,
I think so.
Thursday night, we'll be back with the season finale.
No, I said that wrong. Season finale.
I know.
Yeah. And based on the viewership, it might be series.
Somebody said it. Okay, hold on. It was in one of our chats. Somebody said that, and I thought that, it's very poignant. I meant to comment. I think it was you, Andrew, that said that
viewership.
Acolyte did for Skeleton Crew what the Last Jedi did for Solo.
Yes,
where people were so disappointed.
Sour taste in their mouth.
There was a sour taste in there. But you know what, though? I looked on Rotten Tomatoes at Skeleton. You said that, but I looked at Rotten Tomatoes I looked at Skeleton Crew on Rotten Tomatoes, and both of them are like up over 80%.
Yeah.
I mean,
the people watching it love it. It's the people that haven't watched it that they're having trouble getting convinced to watch it for whatever reason.
Go watch it. If you have not watched Skeleton Crew yet, go watch it.
And there's some people who wait till it's done and then they want to binge it. So
I know some people were saying that people see the runtime. It's 30 minutes. I'll just wait till all the episodes are out and just binge it. But they stopped tracking the numbers after a few days
After
after the finale's out.
Right.
So
after the episode
Yeah.
airs, they stopped tracking.
So, oh well.
So, anyways, that's us on Thursday. Friday,
Snack
episode of. Thank you. I'm just gonna let you do that promo because I can never get that word right. I think it's part 2
on,
of
Andrew, you do Snackame.
All right.
You do that promo.
I've got a promotion.
Yes. You
I
have a
believe they're
shameless plug
doing
to do.
part 2 of.
See, now I've failed because I don't know the show. What they're covering.
Yeah, I think it's part 2 of.
It's a Netflix series. I know that.
Yeah, Ramen and Ronica, or something like that.
Something.
We'll
get it right Thursday night. How about that?
Yeah, Saturday night is Geek Gauntlet. Sunday over on Cam and Focus over on his channel. Last night we discussed The Mummy, the good version, Brendan Fraser.
Yeah.
We had lots of fun. Great movie. Love Brendan. This week they are talking about Kroll.
Kroll, yeah.
KR. And I was trying to look for something on YouTube just to see what it was about. And I put in the wrong name. I put in Null. And so all this Venom stuff came up and I was like, what? So I had to go look at Cam's post and I'm like, okay, I'm stupid. It's Kroll, not Null. One letter messes it all up. Anyways, so they're talking about that movie, Kroll.
I've got to, Cam was making fun of that last night. And I remember watching that movie as a kid and I loved it. I thought it was great. But I have a feeling that that's going to be one of those movies that I'm going to watch now as an adult. Thinking, what were we thinking?
Well, I found a trailer for it on YouTube, and I was reading because I watched the trailer and I was like, oh my God. And then I was reading all the comments and everybody was just like, oh my God, this is so great. This is a great movie. This brings back my childhood. And I was like, ooh, Lord.
Debbie's like, I don't envy your childhood.
It's like and they're like Highlander, the first Highlander movie. I watched that one again for the first time in a long time, and I was just like, "Ooh, this is really terrible. This is a bad movie. Why did we like this?"
Well, I mean, this was in Kroll came out in the 80s sometime.
83.
And I'm just like
4, 3, yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood, yeah.
Okay, so I'm not quite sure what I was going to college, I think. But yeah, I was just like, wow. I mean, the effects looked bad. I didn't recognize anybody. There was one person.
Liam Neeson's in it.
I didn't even see him in there in the trailer.
Right.
But there was one guy that I recognized, but he's always played like a side character or whatever. He's never been a main character. But I recognized him. Everybody else, I was just like, I know nobody in this movie.
Yeah, it'll be another first time watch for me. So
it'll be a first time in a long time watch. How about
I hadn't even heard of it until this week. But it's on Tubi, so at least I don't have to rent it. So
yeah, for some reason I was thinking it was like in relation to Conan the Barbarian. I don't know why I thought that.
It's almost like it's more like a He-Man kind of movie, and the only reason I say it's more like that is because it's more it's
space related.
It's sci-fi, but it's also very fantasy related. So it's like a combination of the two. So
yeah,
my mom when she was growing up had a crush on He-Man.
On Dolph Lundgren He-Man or the regular He-Man?
Animated.
Okay.
I can't say anything because when I was a kid, I I don't know why, but I had a crush on Scooby-Doo.
As I take a sip of tea, are you kidding me?
As Andrew chokes on his pop. I loved Scooby-Doo, and I'm not a dog person, but yeah.
Hey, my sister had a crush on Simba, so if that makes you feel any better.
Childhood. What are you gonna
Bunch of
do?
weird people.
Ah,
I never had kids. Jeez.
Yes, but Simba was voiced by Jonathan Taylor Thomas, and he was a teen heartthrob at the time.
Oh
so
yeah, he was a cutie patootie.
baby Simba was. I mean, even adult Simba was Matthew Broderick. So anyway,
Yeah, he doesn't compare to Jonathan Taylor.
okay.
I got a plug.
Yes, do you have a shameless plug for us?
A rarity of me. Something that Debbie hasn't said, so that's rare. This Saturday, I'm going to be on the Scare of Scuttlebutt podcast. We'll be discussing the Skeleton Crew finale. So
Scarif was just on. I'm glad. I bet he's glad you're plugging for him then.
Yep, I can skip Thursday's show. Talking about it on Saturday. And, just
what
kidding.
time are they on Saturdays?
I believe it's 8:00 your time.
Okay, because I always seem to miss it. I mean, I usually watch them at work, and I try to make a comment, or I always, like the show. But yeah, so
yeah, because they typically go live on Saturdays when there's a show like to discuss. So yeah, that'll be a lot of fun. So that's Saturday at 7 Central, 8 Eastern. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's gonna be a panel of people. So
cool.
Yeah. Finally doing something outside of the circle. So
well, good for you.
I'm branching out. I'm leaving the nest.
He's growing up.
Our
young one is growing up, Debbie.
Yes. Don't be an introvert like me. Don't be a.
What about?
hermit.
Oh, now wait a minute, Debbie. You still doing Geek and I every once in a while? Federation Fridays.
Yeah, we didn't do it last Friday because of it. The snow y'all got down there.
Oh yeah.
Messed with his internet, and he didn't have any connection. So he was like, "I'm sorry, we can't do it."
We never lost anything, but yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm on there, and I've been on Cam's show, and I'm trying to think if I've been on any
I
other
guess Cam show isn't part of the network, so that is something I do.
Yeah.
My contract allows for 2 shows a month that aren't on our network. So,
but see, the shows I'm on are usually people I know.
Yeah, or former shows on the network, so it's still there.
Like, I would probably be a deer in headlights if I, did somebody else's show that I might know the host, but I don't know anybody else. And so I go into my mode of I can't say anything because I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh, I don't care.
Yeah.
Until they know what I'm like.
If they boot you, they boot you,
It'd be like, ooh. Because
like,
I can
be
be a little rough around the edges, and my sailor mouth, and
yeah.
but my hair looks good.
There you go.
Oh well. At any rate.
Anyway, all right. Well, that's going to do it for us tonight. Don't forget to check out all of our presences on social media. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and we're not on Twitter. We're on
TikTok for however long that lasts.
Yeah, hopefully
and Threads.
And Threads. TikTok until at least the 19th, unless they extend everything. But we're all over social media, so pop in, say hi, drop a comment on some stuff. If you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and hit the little bell icon for notifications so you know when we do go live. We will see all of you next week right here on MCU Mondays. Y'all all have a great rest of your week. Bye.
Shit! Language. No one else is going to deal with the fact that Cap just said language. I know. For gosh sake, watch your language. That's not going away anytime soon. You bet your ass.
Steve, you said a bad language word.
Did you tell everyone?
Out with the platinum bastard.
Steve doesn't like that kind of talk.
You know what, Romanoff?
Fury, you son of a bitch.
Ooh, you kiss your mother with that mouth?